Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Ancare booth, the virtual AALAS booth that we're enjoying this year. I hope everyone's enjoying the conference so far. It's been different at very least, but I think it's been good. And we really appreciate this opportunity to actually engage with people through these live sessions. We had one yesterday with Bill. We spoke about Ancare's anti-fatigue mats and anti-vibration pads. We're going to be speaking with Nancy today. I will be speaking later on today on, outreach. I'm speaking on outreach later on, and then tomorrow morning I'm going to have some presentations tips for people in case presentationing, whatever, is one of the things you need to worry about doing. And then tomorrow afternoon, Vinny, our West Coast West rep, will be talking about Tech Track. So we've got a lot of different things going on today. As I mentioned, I am Gord. I'm the Director of Marketing for Ancare, and with us today for this little conversation is Nancy McCormick, whose official title is Best Sales Rep in the entire world. If that isn't Nancy's title, it should be. So I'm just going to go ahead and turn things right over to Nancy. And yes, Nancy, we can hear you having this conversation with people as we go along. That's cool.
Oh, good. Anyway, hi, good morning, everyone. I wish I was actually in Charlotte seeing all of you and hugging everyone. So I'm Nancy McCormick, if you don't know who I am, and I am the regional sales manager for Ancare. So I travel from New York City down to Florida. I love being on the road. I love traveling. I miss it terribly. But anyway, so today we're going to talk a little bit about our enrichment racks and the multiple uses of the enrichment racks as well as the feed carts. So a lot of people aren't familiar that everything is interchangeable. So for example, so you just get a straight up enrichment rack here, and the standard one here comes with 8 baskets, but custom configuration is a huge thing that we do. We can do 2 baskets, we can do 6 baskets, so 3 high, we can do 9 baskets, 3 high, 3 wide. We did all different configurations. Here is one that I've done. Well, I'll do this one first. This is showing a lot of small baskets. A lot of people will have smaller enrichment items, or let's say card holders or cage scrapers, but they don't want to have it as deep as our standard basket. It gets way too heavy. The things in the middle don't get cleaned. So what we've done is we've done these shallow baskets where it's almost like one layer of enrichment items, or any item that needs to be washed can fit, and it's a lot more manageable. It's very aesthetically pleasing. And here, what I've done is we designed a custom enrichment basket. So it has the ability to hold 12 of those smaller ones, or I believe it's 6 of the larger ones. But what's really neat is that you can custom configure it, like, oh, well, this rack, I'm gonna have all the small ones, and this one I want 4 small ones and then 4 big ones. Everything's interchangeable. The main thing here is the top dimensions is what makes it interchangeable between like our feed carts here. And this is showing it with our Rubbermaid bin here. So this is a double wide. It also comes a single wide. Some of you are probably familiar with this as well. But this is showing the double wide. But what's neat is that the baskets can actually go into the feed cart. So let's say today is the rabbit day. I'm going to go and I need to give out hay cubes. So I could have the clear plastic bin with hay cubes in it. And then I could put a stainless steel bin next to it, and I could have the clean dumbbells or jingle balls or something. So that could be the rabbit cart for this week. Or you could have 2 food items. You could have their maintenance chow and Timothy cubes, or bunny blocks or something like that. So just some ideas. It's nice to have the underneath storage of your feed cart. You could put an extra bag of feed. You can put a bottle basket with, extra water bottles. You notice that kind of stuff is getting low. So with the enrichment rack, as you can imagine, you can also have 8 of the solid plastic bins and lids on here. And that is really nice for just clean, dry storage. I have clients that will either get the chow ready for that week, like the breeder chow, the maintenance chow, the low fat chow, and they could like date it and so forth, and could say, so your staff is ready. Oh, today, let me grab this bin out today. But you could do not just for washing, but also just dry storage in a feed room even. And again, it's everything up off the floor. Everything is clear, and you can see in it. Everything, it's very easy to clean. So it's completely stainless steel construction, and the enrichment baskets are all stainless. The baskets are all stainless steel construction. The bins here are a polycarbonate. They are cage washable, but we do not recommend autoclaving those. So with the enrichment baskets, I also want to make note that you can change the mesh size of the baskets. This is our standard size, which is great, as you can see, for washing the different toys and so forth. But you can actually get even smaller if you need to wash screw caps or stoppers that are assembled with tubes. So something that's a little bit smaller, is you don't have things poking out of the holes. Gordon, do you have anything that's showing a smaller mesh? I don't have that on hand. I'm sorry. I wish I did, but I don't.
No problem.
And I also wanted to show a feed cart with an enrichment basket in it. That was the other thing I wanted to show, but I forgot to do that as well.
Okay,
You're muted. There you go.
I'll take a look, see if I can find something for you.
Okay. Does anyone have any questions at this point? Okay. Yes, you can put the entire rack into the cage washer with the baskets, absolutely. Or you can put just an individual basket through the cage wash on a belt.
Nancy, what about autoclaving the entire rack?
You can absolutely autoclave the entire rack as long as you have autoclavable wheels on the rack, but not with the plastic bins, just with the stainless steel bins.
And can you tell us anything more about those Rubbermaid bins, the clear bins?
So here I'm showing, like I said, the double wide one. This holds approximately a 50-pound bag of feed, or you can hold bedding in it as well. Some people will do that if you're going into like a small small area where you just need a small amount of bedding. You can put that into the plastic bins as well. We do offer different sizes of these bins. So you can get a more shallow bin, like say that would interact more than with this kind of rack. So we do have smaller depth of those plastic bins as well. And there is a snap-on lid, so you do get a nice tight seal to keep items fresh and so forth.
And Nancy, I know that we've also made a heavy-duty version of the basket, haven't we? I don't have pictures of it, sorry.
A heavy-duty basket?
Yeah, you know the one I'm talking about, where it's basically made out of sheet metal, sheet stainless steel with a bunch of holes cut into it, and really need to take any of your more heavy, more robust items, and they can still go into that basket and be effectively washed and handled. I think actually this is something Bill had made somewhere, and I remember seeing those baskets around on several occasions. So, you know, there's obviously something even more than what we have as far as the standard mesh or the finer mesh. You can go heavy duty as well. And I'm still looking for pictures of finer mesh for you. Sorry about that.
Oh, it's fine. It's fine. But that's something that you can talk with, any of your reps or with Ancare. You can just, explain what you're looking to wash. And we can do different size mesh for whatever items that you need. Custom is a huge thing for Ancare. We have our own stainless steel plant, so we have the ability to manufacture very custom items and at small quantities, which is very nice. Custom is a huge thing. We love custom.
Nancy, there was a question here from Pradeep or from Jenny with a tube in there. Do you verify sanitation, the whole rack compared to individual baskets? Do you have anything you'd want to say about that?
Well, I already talked about putting the whole rack in the washer. Obviously, that would be something, depending on what your facility is doing and what the cleaning protocols are, if you currently do that. But that, I can't say what happens if you have a basket of balls, you know, because I don't know the rack setting. I mean, the temperature settings, I can't answer. Unfortunately, I can't answer that with too many variables. Too many variables.
That's exactly.
But yes, if you versus putting the individual baskets in, if you have the ability, you definitely would probably get a better cleaning if you have individual baskets on a belt. And then you can put the baskets in the enrichment rack to drip dry, and which is another nice thing. You're not going to get molds and things like that because everything is open and dry. Does anybody else have any other questions?
I'm trying to think what else I can ask here. Unfortunately, I know them really well too, so that doesn't necessarily help.
You know, like I said, the different size baskets, everything is interchangeable. Believe me, I wish I could have these all in my basement or in my garage to keep a lot of stuff organized.
Yeah, I have seen some people where they, you know, once they're sure they're dry, they might not use them for a prolonged period. So they actually transfer them into the clear bins with their lid on it, and it keeps them clean for that longer period of time.
Right.
And of course, we even have covers that we can put over these racks as well. The autoclavable covers, in case again it's going to be long-term storage for them.
Absolutely.
Does anyone else have anything for this? Maybe some of the other Ancare people have some ideas of what. Oh, here we go. Michelle Madison. Yes, we have several of these baskets already, and we have numbered them and sent the entire racking carts and contents into the rack washer. Yeah, actually, Michelle even has some custom ones similar to what you have behind you right now, Nancy. But I believe, Michelle, your mesh is more similar to what we have on our accessory basket, so it's a finer mesh. And yours were also something that we specifically designed to be able to fit into your space. Again, the customization that Nancy mentioned is huge for that. So.
Yeah, if you only have a very narrow opening, you could do a single enrichment rack. Just imagine one row, one column, I apologize, one column, and then you can do, you know, as high as you want it to be. So just because, you know, you don't have to think just two columns, you can just have one column as well.
One of the other benefits I've had some people mention to me about the feed cart is that, particularly if you're in a conventional style room where it's not unusual to have feed there in the room, you actually have an additional surface now. Sometimes it's just a writing surface or a work surface, just someplace that you can put things. Some people will keep their gloves on the lower shelf, that type of thing. So again, it's just a little bit of extra space available sometimes.
And then when you do take the lid off, there is actually a holder on the side of the frame of the feed cart. So actually the lid doesn't have to go underneath the car, doesn't have to go on the floor leaning against a wall. And a double would then have the ability to hold two lids. It doesn't show it in this picture with my my beautiful pink screen, but there's just little clips on the side here that the lid just slides right down into. To keep it, you know, off the floor and so forth while you're manipulating in the bin in the animal room or so forth and whatever.
Yeah, I actually wish that I had got more pictures ready beforehand, because I do have a picture of that somewhere.
Yes, I do too. I could.
Let's see, Michelle's asking, for the feed carts, can you construct a hold shelf close to the bottom of the cart so dust can fall through and could act as a sieve? Yeah, Nancy, do you want to tell Michelle about the, about what do you call it, the screen that we have available for the food and bedding carts?
Yes. All right, hi, I am here. There was a couple things I wanted to, first I wanted to show, that is not going to work with my screen. Yeah, that's not going to show with my screen.
I'm looking for those.
I'm trying to show the holder on the screen. I guess I can turn my screen off. Hold on one second.
No, I'm looking for my pictures of it.
All right, so there are these little holders right there on the feed cart frame. It's these little clip openings. No, it's not that's showing a feed cart and a basket in the frame, just so you see what that looks like. Okay. All right. And then the raised wire floor.
Yes.
So I don't know if everyone is familiar with a raised wire floor that you would put an actual rodent cage, to keep the animal off of the bedding, off of the wet bedding, out of their feces and so forth. But we actually have a larger size that fits in the bottom of the feed bin here, on the bottom of the plastic bin. That way, when you're dumping your fresh bag of feed, all the fines and the little tiny pieces of food and crumbs, that will all go to the bottom. And then that way, when you're scooping out your food, you are not just, basically pouring these crumbs and fines right into the animal cage.
I actually do have pictures of that. So give me a second here, and I will see if I can share that particular photo. Here we go. So, oh, it's not, sorry about that. There we go. So that is a typical raised wire floor, and we have a version of that, like Nancy was saying, that would fit in the bottom of the food bin. And yeah, it basically separates out any findings. Oh, and that's also the same size mesh as what she was talking about for the finer mesh bins, baskets, yes. And here, let me share this picture just to show the holder, the lid holder. Got that right here.
And the feed card holders too.
The card holder, I don't think I have a picture of that, but you can see how here in the lid holder, that's just basically a little hook that's welded to the post, but it lets the lid slide right into place. It works really well. Simple solution, elegant solution to making sure that the lid stays where you want it to be. You're not fumbling with the place to put it. It works really well. So. Let's see.
Michelle would like to know
part number and cost, Michelle. I'll get you a quote on those. And how far is it from the bottom? I'm not sure.
Amanda, we just did know the height, because is it 1 inch?
Are you talking about the raised wire flooring from the bottom?
Yeah.
For the feed
I'm
bin.
not 100% sure. We did just do it, so let me find out and I can let you know.
Okay.
Okay, and then Gordon can, yeah. But for the feed cart, if you wanted just the hooks, we actually have, like, if you have really old feed carts before we had the actual lid holders on them, there was like a thing that hung on the side, correct?
That's right. That's right.
It was, to use on one feed carts that are much older before we started putting that on. So she needs that as well, Gordon.
Lid holder and feed screens. See what happens, Michelle, when I don't see you for so long? Let's see. Are there any other questions that people might have?
Oh, and we could also do, she said she misses you.
I miss you too, Michelle.
You can also, we can give you those hooks if you don't want a hanging one with screws. So you can attach them to your current frames.
Okay. Bill is asking if the lid holder is standard on the double feed cart. That's a good question. It's not? Okay. Gee, thanks, Bill. Do you want to answer that question then?
That's good, he's muted.
Yeah, really, really. Okay, so I guess the only other thing to really say then is that, one of the cool things with Ancare is that we do have our own stainless steel plant, and we are willing to work with you to customize pretty much anything you might need. Not only the items that Nancy was talking about today, the enrichment cart, the feed and bedding cart, but pretty much anything stainless steel. We can make it for you, we can redesign it for you, we can work with you to make sure that it's going to be exactly whatever it is that you need. So if there's no other questions or nothing else that Nancy wants to say.
I miss everybody so much.
Thank you everyone for tuning in. I hope that you'll be back here this afternoon at 1 o'clock, as well as tomorrow at 10 and tomorrow at 1. Thanks a lot. Take care.
Yes, they are taped, Michelle.
Nancy and Gordon.
Yes. Yes, they are being recorded.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Bye.